right. Welcome to the Invisible to Invincible webinar. And my name is Suzanne Longstreet. And thanks for joining me. I'm a little off balance now. It's all good. We'll get there. So welcome. You're here because you're feeling stuck and invisible in your business. Or perhaps you're struggling to figure out how to get out of your own way. I'm hoping you don't look like this person in here, and I wanted to just show you something that how it might look, what it looks like, and I think there are moments that we've all been there, haven't we? And you're also here because you're seeking clarity to build your business to your next level. What we're going to do is we're going to discover, I'm going to give you some tips and techniques to help you discover how you can move out of being invisible and be able to step into being invincible. I'm going to share with you how you can discover some simple strategies to get out of your own way and get clarity on what you can do to be more successful today. So at the end of today's session, I want you to walk away from here and know how to move from being invisible to being invincible. If you have any questions as we go through, thanks for being here live, everybody. You're welcome to put them in the chat box. I am paying attention. There's a slight delay, so I will get to it as quickly as I can. Thanks, and again, thanks for being here. Thanks for taking time out of your day. What we're going to talk about, the thoughts and actions that are keeping you invisible. The real cost, I'm going to put some dollars around this, some real cost of what staying invisible is doing for you in your life and your business, and how it's keeping you stuck. I also want to share with you how your brain is wired to keep you invisible. As you know, I am a trainer in neuro-linguistic programming, which is the applied science of psychology, and we study how human behavior is and study what works and how to create excellence in ourselves and others. That's essentially what NLP is. And we're also going to talk about the effective steps that you can implement immediately to get clarity and results. One of the things that people know about working with me is that when you talk to me, I will give you something, if not one thing, two things, possibly even three things that you can take and put into place today to move you out of being invisible and into being invincible. So what does it look like? What does it feel like? And maybe what are we hearing when we're being invisible? Here are some of the things that are happening, and here's how you will know. These are some of the symptoms to watch for when you might be, to help you identify if you're being invisible in your business. Well, you're having that feeling of overwhelm. You have so much to do and so little time, and you don't know how to get there. And you don't know where to start first. So you actually just avoid doing your business or going out and asking for business. You're just in overwhelm and you actually don't know where to start. So you might be procrastinating. It will lead to procrastinating because you're so overwhelmed you don't even know where to start, so you just start to procrastinate. I know. I spent 2012, the whole year, on the couch watching television. I was in such overwhelm, I had no idea where to start. I just spent the year on the couch. My husband will tell you. You then start to feel inauthentic because, well, you're not doing anything, you're hiding so much, you're actually starting to feel inauthentic. And this can lead to what I call comparitis. What is that, you ask me? Comparitis. Oh yeah, that's the thing that we do when we go on Facebook or Instagram or any other social media platform. We start measuring and comparing the inside of us, our internal thoughts and feelings, with the outside of other people. And we see them as being successful, and we compare ourselves and we think, well, why even bother? Because they're doing it so much better than I can. I'm just going to go, get a job, watch TV, find something else to do. Comparitis will lead every time to frauditis. Oh, what's that? That's when frauditis is actually when you feel like a fraud. And I've had people actually tell me that. They feel like a fraud. They're out there actively searching for business and offering their services, and they don't believe in themselves. And so this leads you perhaps to stay in your comfort zone. You know, that couch, that safe place, your house, wherever it is, it causes you to keep doing the same thing over and over. And it also will keep you from wanting to be afraid of being seen because you know what? People might judge you. Ugh. And well, with all of this happening, is it any wonder that you're not going to ask for business? Because of course you have a fear of rejection. These are all the symptoms that you're being invisible. You might have one, you might have two, you might have all of them. Okay, here are the effects of what happens when you're invisible. You're hurt when people don't remember you or they hire and go with somebody else. Somebody else who is offering the exact same service as you. And quite frankly, between you and I, we know you can do it better because you have more passion for it. You feel like it's a waste of time and energy because you have so much to give and no one sees you. You keep going out and you keep going to these networking groups and you keep doing all the things on Facebook and things aren't happening, or Instagram or social media, and things aren't happening. And so this causes you to start to doubt yourself. And then you feel like something is missing. And then you wonder what you said or you did wrong. Oh yeah, and then this, oh my goodness, this is fun. You start to should yourself, you know. Oh, I should have said this, or I should have done that. Oh good, I'm glad you have sound now, Martina. Good, hope everybody else does too. I think everybody else does too, good. Okay, so then you should yourself. We're on the shoulds. Ugh, you know, that should. And you fear speaking up or asking for business. Ugh, this is all keeping you invisible. You know what you can do to offer others, but no one seems to know or listen, right? Okay, that's all about being invisible. I promised you at the beginning of this that we would talk about the real, the real dollars and cents. I want to make it real here for you. The cost of being invisible. Here's what it is, guys and girls. How many years have you been in business? And how many years have you not been doing the money, getting the revenue or earning the income or getting the clients that you know you can and that you have capacity for? How many years has it been? Be real with yourself here. This is just between you and you and you. Now times those number of years by your potential revenue. You know in your heart of hearts what your potential revenue is. So let's just do this. Let's just say, for example, I don't know. Let's just pick a number for ease of adding for my simple math. Say you've been in business for 3 years. And say your potential revenue is 100K. That's easy, right? You probably made that in corporate or more than that in the past. And so you times 300, you times 3 times 100. I did this so I would have easy math. That's $300,000. Now, take away what you've already made, because you've made some money over the last couple of months, haven't you? A couple of years, more than likely. You wouldn't be in business if you hadn't made any money. So you take away whatever that number is from that perhaps $300,000, and that's what it is costing you to be invisible. I told you I would make this real. So whatever that number is for you, whether it's $10,000, $5,000, $50,000, over 100, whatever that number is, that's the real cost of you not shining your light in the world and not making a difference. And I hope that that really resonates with you and that you're hearing what I'm telling you. This is not to do anything other than bring awareness for you so that you can know what the real cost of being invisible is doing for you. For me, I'll be frank with you, it was 5 years of just not doing what I needed to do. 5 years. And if, as a coach, I can make over 100K a year, even 80, even $50,000, that would be awesome, right? That's a lot of money. 5 times is $250,000 that I just wasted because I was so not willing to get out and show up because I had all that other stuff. Why can I tell you all about this stuff? Because I had it running. Thank goodness it's no longer running. Oh, I wanted to tell you a little bit about me. And I was hoping that I would actually be able to see you, and I can't figure out the technology. So you can hear me, and that's important. All right. So let me tell you about me. Well, I first became a coach. I got my coaching designation in 2007. And I was completely lost and completely overwhelmed. And I had no idea how to start because I had been working in corporate for years. I had been working in human resources. And because I didn't know what to do or how to start, I thought, I know, I'll take the summer off. I had money from my last job. I'll start in September. Well, that was also the summer, thank goodness, that I met the man of my dreams, Peter. And I started dating him, and I was in love, and things were really good. And I didn't worry about starting my business. And so for a couple of years, yes, years, I fooled around and didn't get my business going and didn't get it off the ground and did a really good job of keeping myself invisible. I tried for years to start my business on my own, and it wasn't until I started working with my first business mentor in 2011 that things started to shift. And I worked with a bunch of business mentors and business coaches until I found the one that I really connected with. And when that happened, I was no longer alone. That's the biggest thing. I think the biggest shift for me is that when I wasn't alone anymore, trying to do it on my own, trying to figure it all out on my own, when I followed somebody else who had figured out the process and had the path, that's what really helped me to move out of invisible. Now, at that point in time, way back in 2012, you remember the year that I was on the couch? I still wouldn't have thought that Invincible was in my vocabulary. In fact, didn't even come up until way into 2015. I just was going around saying I was invisible no more, which if you've taken NLP, any of the training that I do, you know that meant that I was swirling in invisibility. So the breakthrough for me happened when I finally discovered that the balance of what I could do on my own and asking for help when I needed it. And so when I realized that I didn't have to do it alone and that there were people out there who were willing to help, and I belonged to a community and things started to happen, and I moved out of my independent stage and into what we call in the world of NLP interdependence, where I was willing to be strong when somebody needed me, and when I needed help, I was willing to let down my guard and invite people in and ask for help. And I finally felt like I had found people who saw me. I remember the biggest breakthrough for me was this year in March, and somebody came up to me and and he's doing incredibly well in the world, out of England, very successful business person and in the multi-millions. And we were chatting one day and he says, I remember you, Suzanne. I remember working with you. And I went, you see me? And he said, yes. And that's when I realized, oh, really, really, I'm not invisible as I would have thought I was. Because we still have those days, those moments. And so this year, it's been all about going inside and working with people and asking for help when I needed it. And this is why I believe in the power of getting into a community and connecting with people. It's why I started Pinkpreneurs way back in 2012, because I wanted to create a place where women could gather, where we could share our successes with each other, where we could work together to to sell each other services, to refer each other. And I love being in my Pinkpreneurs group. And now what I'm looking to do is create a larger community of women succeeding and seeking the clarity and moving out of being invisible and into being invincible. And now today, I can tell you with authenticity and integrity that I believe in myself. Because not from what I'm seeing for myself, although the changes have been amazing, but I'm seeing for the people that I work with. And I just want that for you. I want you to be successful in your life and in your business so that you can make a difference in the world, so that you can go inside and discover your light. And that's what I'm passionate about. Enough about me. Let's move on. Let's talk about you again. This is how your brain is wired. Okay. This is what happens is information comes in. This is a very complicated slide, right? So let me explain it for you. What happens is information comes in different ways. And it comes in 11 million bits per second. Imagine holding out your hands and being able to hold 11 million toothpicks all coming in at once. Can you do that per second? Can you do that? No. It all comes in different ways. You absorb information in different ways. You absorb it visually as well as you hear it. You might feel it in an emotion, or you might touch it with your hands. You might smell it, and you're also tasting it. So information is coming in that fast, rapidly. So this is overwhelming for your brain, right? But we delete, distort, and generalize things that we don't need. And it's based on the filters that we run through based on our past history, our experience, the language that we're speaking, things, our values, and our attitudes, all of these things. And this is how things get filtered. This is how we delete, distort, and generalize information that comes in. And what happens inside of you is you turn things into a picture. And I'll explain how your unconscious mind works in a few minutes so that you know what's happening. So it takes all of this information and it literally stores it as a picture. And it's tied into all of the, here's a big word coming up, neurotransmitters that, quote, bathe every cell in your body or your physiology. And all of that combined creates an emotion. Okay. And then what happens is all the information that we get, that 11 million bits per second, it comes in through all of our filters, creates a picture, works through all of the neurotransmitters in our physiology, our body, and it creates an emotion. And that turns into just 128 bits per second. So all of those toothpicks that are coming in, if you could imagine them as toothpicks, turn into just 128 bits per second. For those of you who like the source of the data, I'm happy to share it with you. It actually comes from a gentleman by the name of Mihai Csikszentmihalyi, and he wrote a book called Flow way about 20 years ago. And it's an amazing book, and it talks about being in flow is when we're in trance and we're able to, or in the zone. And he talks about this, and that's where we've got this information from. Okay. So that's how you work. That's how your brain is wired. Then what happens is, so for example, an event happens outside of you. It's always an external event. You've got a new situation coming up. Perhaps you've got a speaking engagement next month. You've got a new situation. You've never spoken in front of that many people. Or it might be something as fun as doing a webinar like I'm doing today. And it goes through it comes in as a new situation. And it comes through all of your senses, and you form a picture, runs through all of the neurotransmitters in your body to create an emotion, and then that drives your behavior. And so, for example, this is how I used to work, and perhaps maybe some of you know people who are doing this. A new situation comes, they just want to be invisible. So that's what happens. An event happens, it goes through our brain, creates a picture. We filter it through all of our filters in our brain. It runs the neurotransmitters through the body or our physiology. It creates an emotion which drives a behavior. That's what's happening. That's what's happening in your brain. And perhaps if you're doing the invisible thing, that's what's doing it. Okay, let me talk about your unconscious mind. You might have also heard this called the subconscious mind. So the unconscious mind is symbolic. It doesn't have language. It actually doesn't understand words. It works in pictures. That's how it files all the data. It files all of the information that you have in pictures. And then what happens is it also cannot process negatives. All right? So don't think of a blue tree now. You will think of a blue tree. Don't think of a pink elephant now. Possibly. You're thinking of a pink elephant, maybe. It doesn't hear don't. Your unconscious mind doesn't hear the negative. Okay, here's another term for you. Your reticular activating system. Why am I telling you about this? I really want you to understand how your brain is wired to keep you stuck and invisible so that you can so that when I share with you how to change that for you, you will understand it. So your reticular activating system, this is actually your bouncer that you have. You program this. It's an actual, if you look up RAS, your reticular activating system on Google, it will show you a picture of where it is, and it's just at the top of your brain stem. And it sends out a program into your brain, and it says, this is what you want to focus on, and that will become your reality. For example, if you are focusing on being invisible, you will actually find that people will think of you, they won't even see you. I remember years ago standing in a cheese store, and I'm kind of short, I'm 5'2", and the cheese was piled up on the counters. And again, I was programmed to always wanted to be invisible because it worked to protect me in my former life. And I remember standing there in the cheese store waiting for help on a busy Saturday. And when it came to my turn, I was just about to speak up, and he couldn't see me, the guy behind the counter, because A, I'm short, and B, I had wanted to be invisible, and that program was running. And he asked the person behind me, hey, can I help you? So I got a little miffed. And then he did it, the gentleman who was serving, they did it not just one, not just two, but three of them did it in a row. And finally, I found my voice and said, hey, I'm next. I had done such a really good job of proving to myself that I was invisible. I programmed my RAS to say to myself that I wanted to be invisible, and I had proof all around me. So you're doing it. You're programming your unconscious mind and your brain to be invisible, or whatever being stuck is in your world. Can somebody just type me a little note and let me know that you're still here? I would really appreciate it. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. You've heard of Henry Ford, haven't you? Whether you think you can or you think you can. Hey, Denise, thanks. Thanks, Natalie. Awesome. Celine, thank you. And Martina, good. I'm happy to hear you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Whether you think you can or you think you can, you're right. So focus on what you want. Here's something that's really big, and this was a big aha to me with working with a client. We were talking, I kept saying, focus on what you want, focus on what you want. And what came to light was that they were just focusing on getting to the next day. They didn't have big dreams. And when I had them go through the exercise of focusing on their big dreams and writing out what they really wanted in their business, absolutely, and in their life, and in their financial situations, and in their family life, and in their relationship, and in their health, and all of the areas of the white life balance wheel, it came out that, you know what? They had 95% of all that they wanted. And yet there are so many people who actually operate in this gray zone place, this place of just getting through to tomorrow, just existing, not living, not being in the really good, and experiencing some really bad, as long as it is really, stuff happens, okay? And you just have to keep going, and there needs to be joy out of it. And if you're just working in that gray zone, which is just getting along and existing, as one of my clients said, that's not life, is it? So all of this is to say, focus. Focus on what you want. You will get what you focus on, so focus on what you want. And here's the other thing that we talk about in the NLP training, and if you're working with me, and some of you have been clients, so you know, you've heard this. Your results are only feedback on what you've been focusing on. I want to let that sink in. If you're not happy with your life, if you're not happy with the results that you're getting, check in. Check in with what you're focusing on, because how you're programming your brain, what you're thinking, what your pictures in your mind, how you're sending that, what emotions you're feeling, all of that is programming you to create the life that you want. So focus on what you want. Will versus imagination. Yep, your imagination will always, 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 always win. Think about everything that is out there in this world. Everything started in somebody's imagination. The pen, if you're writing down, this computer screen that you're looking at, this webinar jam technology that we are doing, it started off in somebody's brain, in their imagination. What if? What if? Your imagination will always win. That is probably the biggest secret that I can share with you so far. We're only 30 minutes in. Will versus imagination. Focus on what you want. Results are feedback on what you're focusing on. You have the power to do whatever you want. I've watched magic happen with clients that I've worked with when they really started to believe in themselves and take action towards their success. That's when they started to do things that they had never done before and getting results that just blew their mind. They couldn't believe how successful they could be once they dreamed it, started taking action, and focused on what they wanted. If you'll notice at the bottom of my screen, it actually says on every slide, first you need to decide, then you need to commit. And when you focus on what you want and take action, you will get to where you want to go. This reminds me of, just a quick aside, did anybody ever watch, I know I'm going to rate the holiday special, the Rankin Bass holiday special, and I think it's Santa Claus Comes to Town, and they run into the winter warlock, and he's on the mountain, and he hasn't walked, and he's lost a lot of his magic. And there's a song, it's one step in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking across the floor, and soon you'll be walking out the door. I often think about that when I think of clients who are literally stuck and they're not moving forward. Just think of that, one step in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking across the floor and then out the door. You've got to keep going, keep taking action in the right direction. And to do that, you need to expand your comfort zone. Because your brain, it really wants to keep you safe. That's its job. It's been doing this from an evolutionary perspective since we were Grog and Grogat in Mesopotamia, and we were going out and hunting. Oh, hello, my notifications are on. And where they were hunting the mammoth, the woolly mammoth, to eat, and the saber-toothed tigers were chasing us. And it's done everything it can to keep us safe, our brain. And that's what it's doing today. Even though, thank goodness, we're no longer chased by saber-toothed tigers, our brain will often see a threat, even if it's just a look from somebody. It will turn on, it will go full on into amygdala hijack, which is another part of your brain, and that will keep you stuck, will keep you in that invisible. So what you need to do is expand your comfort zone by taking action and getting out of your comfort zone. So just write down for yourself just one thing that you know you need to do for your business that's going to get you to the results that you want that you've been afraid to do. And take a small step to get there. Just do it. Send me an email. Let me know how it went. You don't have to share what you did or anything. And it can be something as simple as, I don't know, doing a Facebook Live, doing a post, sending an email, or picking up the phone and calling that person who you talked to a while ago who said they were interested in your services and you haven't followed up with them. Do it today. Prove to your brain that you're still safe and that you can get out of your comfort zone. I want to talk to you about a new program that I'm doing. And this is called the Success and Clarity Leadership Academy. What I want to do is I want to provide you with a simple and fast way to grow your business with confidence. I want you to be able to create success as you develop your effective marketing materials to magnetize and talk to and attract your ideal client. Because when you do that and you're living in service and you're making a difference in the world and you're shining your light out there, you will make more money. It's a formula. And what I also want to do to thank you for being here is I want to share my new report. And it's called Take Action for Your Success and Clarity. And I put it up there for you to download. You should be able to find it in your chat box, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. Remember, this is new technology, isn't it fun? Let me know if you can see that. And I'm going to talk to you. Oh, thanks. Hey, it worked. Thanks, Lynn. Awesome. And download that and let me know what you think. Okay. Yay, yay. I thought you got it. Oh, I love it when technology works. Don't you? All right. So let me tell you a little bit more about the Success and Clarity Leadership Academy. I have been working on this specifically since April of this year, and I now have the modules built and the program in place, and I actually attracted my first client yesterday, so I'm really excited about that for this program. And so it's launching, it's going, it's happening, and I'm really excited about it. And here's what's going to happen. It's a what we're going to do is it's about strategic coaching. We start with a 90-minute coaching session with me. And we'll do it in person if you're near me. If not, we'll do it over a video conference. And what I want to do is I really want to delve into your business and your life and find out what's working for you so that you can prioritize and to know what you need to do to achieve your goals in your business. Over the year, you're going to attend many in-person set day workshops. At this point in time, I'm looking at 4 times in the year, and they absolutely are going to be at least one day. They might be 2. At this point in time, they're one day, and where you'll learn exactly how to advance your business. These will be full-on me teaching you and have prepared workshop materials, so you're going to get those 4 workshops. You'll also know exactly what you need to do to build, grow, and explode your business as you increase your skills in communication and, of course, leadership. Yes, you are a leader. You are a leader in many roles in your life, and therefore that's why I've called it a Leadership Academy, because we are all leaders in our life. And we are also stars in our life. And if you're not the star in your film of your life, then you need to be. The other part of this is that you will have access to online training modules throughout the year that will lead you step by step to grow your business easily. Each module that you'll be able to do on your own will give you specific steps to grow your business and assignments that I've created over the last 10 years of coaching, and that I've pulled and adapted from my coaches and made them my own, as well as incorporated some of the NLP techniques that I share so that you can get results. Because that's really what you want, right? Just results. Each month you'll have the opportunity to ask me questions. I'm going to create a Facebook group so that you can ask questions and come on live, and we'll do a group session via Zoom so that you can ask about questions. You can share. I really want to hear and celebrate your success, because when you succeed, others feel like it's possible for them too. So I want to hear that as well. And we'll have those monthly group coaching calls via video conference. One of the most magical experiences that I found for me when I joined my group coaching program this past year, and I've seen a huge shift in myself as a result of that, was the magic of connecting with other business leaders just like you. That you can create connections. Because sometimes, while my business coach is amazing, I love her, and she always just knows the right thing to say. It's like magic. Sometimes the person that's beside me, who's just the same or maybe even a little ahead of me, shares something that rocks my world so much and changes the way I'm doing things, because I can see that they've had that success. So many of you know that I've written a book this year. It's called Invisible to Invincible. And there's a theme there, right? And when she told the group that that was the single most important thing for her to have done in her business, I was all in. I was like, oh, okay. Then I was committed. Yes, the business coach said, yeah, this is going to work. And it worked for her. She's got $1 million business. Okay. And when I heard that somebody else had done it and grown their business from $20,000 a year to she's close to $250,000 a year, I went, okay. Now I'm willing to try it. So I wrote that book in 13 days. And that's going to be one of the workshops that we're going to be talking about, is how you can write a book for yourself. I do know that there's somebody on here who has written a book, and congratulations. And I'm going to help you also do it from a marketing perspective so that you can go out into the world and make a difference. Because overall, my whole mission in life is so that you can achieve clarity, success, the way you define success, and confidence in your ability to go out into the world and make a difference. So here's the biggest thing. Being an entrepreneur, yeah, you can feel lonely, right? Well, why struggle alone when you can grow with others in a community and follow a proven path to your success? I'm going to tell you the system works, because I've been testing it out on clients for the past several years. It's been honed and developed so that it will work, and that's why I'm able to offer it to you. What we're also going to be talking about in this is some of the behaviors of successful leaders, and how to decide with speed and conviction, how to engage for impact, how to adapt proactively, and how you will consistently and constantly deliver reliably. By the way, those 4 behaviors were actually mapped out in something called the CEO Genome Project, which is written about in Harvard Business Review in June 2017. And they're all there. And I'm taking these behaviors that are proven to be successful for successful business leaders and applying the NLP process that I know so that you can be a successful business leader in your world. And so that's just part of what you'll get in the benefits. So this program will be $497 a month plus HST. And it is a 12-month commitment. For the first 10 people who sign up to this, you will have an opportunity to benefit at $397 per month plus HST. That's just for the first 10 people. And you guys are here first, so you're going to have an opportunity. I've put it here should be showing up on your screen as well, so that you can see it. I'm just going to go back and open a chat box. Can you see that? I just want to know that you can see it and that it's working. If somebody could help me out. And I'm going to tell you again that the thing that really changed my life and my business was being involved in my group coaching program, which helped me to move forward. And I want the same for you. Oh good, thanks, Celine. Here's the thing, the KLT factor. Have you heard about this? The know, like, and trust factor. To be successful in your business, people need to know what you're doing. They need to know about you. And being invisible, they won't know who you are. They need to like you. You know what? The biggest thing is you want to be working with people you like, right? And I, quite frankly, my clients, I only work with people I like. That's what I like. And it makes my life easy and fun, and I'm excited to talk to my clients every single time they show up. And then of course, they need to trust you. Because when people know you, like you, and trust you, because you're consistently showing up, you're delivering reliably, other clients are telling rave reviews and stories about you, they will show up and they will want to work with you. And they can't know you if you're invisible, can they? Here's the thing. You are a unique individual in this world, and I believe in your uniqueness. And I believe in your desire to want to make a difference in the world. Being invisible will not create success in your life and business. You are meant to live your life to the fullest and serve as many people as possible. So go inside. Find your light so that you can go out into the world and make a difference. And if I'm the person that you know, like, and perhaps trust, then sign up and come with me. Follow me on this journey and this path. Invest in yourself for your success. Do this for you. And as I say at the bottom here, decide. Decide either way, yes or no. I'm good with both. Commit. If you do decide that this is for you, the Success and Clarity Business System inside of the Pinkpreneur, inside of the Success and Clarity Leadership Academy, then commit to it. Commit to yourself. Because when you focus on what you want and you take action every day, you will absolutely move yourself from invisible to invincible. I want that for you. I want you to be there with me. If I could put myself in this picture, I would. Notice there's pink. So that you can go out into the world, make a difference, shine your light, and move out of being invisible and into invincible. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them. And thank you. If you want to also connect with me, just book a clarity session. It's on my website, successandclarity.com. And we can talk more about this, or if you're interested in something else, or if you just want to chat. I'm always looking for a cup of tea. Thanks for coming. Thank you for showing up today. This was less than 60 minutes, and it's been great seeing you. I'm just waiting to see if there's any questions here. And if there isn't, then thank you for your time. And if you know of anybody who might be perhaps looking to move out of being invisible and into being invincible, send them my way. Thanks so much, everybody. Awesome. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye now.